Welcome to the Nevis Newscast for today, Monday, June 11th, 2018. I am Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. The Honorable Mark Brantley has been invited to be a speaker at the 24th edition of the Conference of Montreal. The conference, which follows immediately after the G7 summit hosted by Canada, is being held by the International Economic Forum of the Americas from June 11th to 14th at the Hotel Bonaventure, Montreal, under the general theme, A New Globalization, Managing Uncertainty. The Conference of Montreal strives to foster exchanges of information, promote free discussion on major current economic issues, and facilitate meetings between world leaders to encourage international discourse. It brings together heads of state, the private sector, international organizations, and civil society. Ban Ki-moon, the 8th Secretary General of the United Nations, and Angel Gurria, Secretary General of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, are among global leaders participating in the conference. The Honorable Mark Brantley will speak on Tuesday, June 12th. He says the conference presents an excellent opportunity to press the case of St. Kitts and Nevis and the wider region on shared issues. In other news,
we are happy of his contributions to the island of Nevis and the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis on a whole.
Members of the Cabinet of the Nevis Island Administration, as well as other well-wishers, today shared in a wreath-laying ceremony which marked the 11th anniversary of the death of former Deputy Premier, the Honorable Malcolm Guishard. Guishard died suddenly at the age of 55 on June 11th, 2007.
Malcolm's passing have certainly left a void here on the island of Nevis, and of course his passing has left a rich legacy behind as well too. Many of us would have known his exploits in various areas and sectors here on the island of Nevis. He would have held various portfolios, including Minister of Agriculture, Lands, Housing, Communications and Works, so he would have had a chance to serve in various capacities which would have lent to the development or the overall development of Nevis.
Deputy Premier, the Honorable Alexis Jeffers, also expressed condolences to the family of Malcolm Guishard.
Earlier today, I would have made a call to the wife of the late Malcolm Guishard, Yvonne Guishard that is, and she herself was still feeling the effects of Malcolm's passing even 11 years later. And indeed, it shows how important and what a major asset Malcolm would have been to his family and also to the island of Nevis. So on behalf of the entire island of Nevis and the Federation of St. Kitts as well, St. Kitts and Nevis I must say, we join in conveying our sadness and our grief at this time, and we join with the family in saying how saddened we are. But also we want to say that his passing has certainly left us with some treasures and some things that we can certainly hold on to for time to come. So, on behalf of the Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Mark Brantley, who is absent today, who is away on government business and would have loved to be here, I express sympathies on his behalf of the entire cabinet of the Nevis Island Administration.
The Honorable Malcolm Guishard was the leader of the opposition in the St. Kitts and Nevis National Assembly at the time of his passing. Meantime, in a statement to mark the 11th anniversary of the passing of the Honorable Malcolm Guishard, Premier the Honorable Mark Brantley said he wishes on this solemn occasion to ask the nation to remember him for his exceptional service to the people of Nevis and the wider Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Malcolm's work spoke and continues to speak eloquently for him. His selfless service to his people should never be forgotten. His was a life well lived, not in the acquisition of riches nor in the pursuit of self-aggrandizement, but in the service of others. He was friend to all and foe to none. Premier Brantley extended ongoing sympathies to Yvonne Guishard, wife of the late Malcolm Guishard, his children and the rest of his family. May they be comforted in the certain knowledge that Malcolm's life of service shall never be dimmed nor diminished by the passage of time. May his soul continue to rest in eternal peace, Premier Brantley said. Still to come.
David Freeman, go. With Urban and Calypso, what did you know?
The details after this break. Welcome back. 850 feet of asphalt road was recently constructed by the Public Works Department in the Lower Stony Grove area. The Minister of Public Works in the Nevis Island Administration, the Honorable Spencer Brandt, explained the purpose of the construction.
This is an area that have seen over the years the desperate need to have this piece of road completed. It is an area also that funnel water from Upper Stony Grove, and the Public Works Department would have constructed a culvert under the road to make sure that the blockage and the flooding would have been eliminated.
Minister Brandt noted that the road was completed in less than 2 months and expressed his satisfaction with the project.
The quality is comparable to anywhere on the island of Nevis. So I just want to say to the Public Works Department how happy I am for the end product and the time that they would have taken to have this piece of road completed. As indicated as well, we would have acquired some of the lands from one of the residents here, and he simply requested that we did some fencing on his property. He didn't necessarily wanted any monies, and he would have given up some land before, and we would have taken some additional lands here at this construction of this road, and we just want to say thank you to him. And I just want to say thank you to my colleagues who are here to see that the Public Works Department is continuing to deliver good quality road here on the island of Nevis.
Minister Brandt, along with other members of the cabinet, visited various sites on island on Wednesday, June 6th, to get updates on the projects that are being undertaken by the Nevis Island Administration. Scores of Nevisians and Kittians turned out on Saturday, June 9th to celebrate the life of the late David Demestro Freeman, fifer extraordinaire. The Nevisian cultural icon passed away on Saturday, May 26th at his home in Gingerland at the age of 90. The homegoing service for David Freeman took place at the Hard Times Playfield, where more than a dozen tributes, including those from the Nevis Culturama Committee, Nevis Cultural Development Foundation, and the Nevis Island Administration, were made in his memory.
The Nevis Island Administration values the sterling and invaluable contribution made by Mr. Freeman and how he assisted in shaping a culture that we have grown to become so very proud of. His contribution to culture on Nevis is priceless. As Minister of Culture, I am very confident that with the likes of C.J. Freeman on the kettle drum, David's Dynasty Masquerades, and all masquerades on Nevis, the Sugar Hill String Band and the Advent Minstrels, David's legacy will indeed live on.
He represented, ladies and gentlemen, the very best of Nevisian life and culture. His legacy, I am certain, will live on through his contribution to culture, his positive attitude, his music, his tutoring of children and adults, and the many, many lives that he touched. His spirit will live on in every beat of the drum, every blowing of the fife, every ping of the pan, every masquerade that dances, and every song composed. We honor and salute the outstanding contribution of this most beloved Nevisian and cultural icon, who distinguished himself at home and abroad. Nevis owes David Freeman a great debt of gratitude for his selfless life of dedication to our cultural art form and cultural identity. He will forever be treasured, held in high esteem, and his name will ring among us for eternity.
David Freeman was born in Butlers on February 16, 1928, but had been living in Rollins Village since he was 3 months old. He played with the Honeybees String Band, Jimmy Mackerel's String Band, and the Joy Bell Big Drum. He represented St. Kitts and Nevis at 7 editions of the Caribbean Festival of Arts, Carifesta. He also toured St. Eustatius, Canada, Guyana, U.S. Virgin Islands, Montserrat, and St. Martin with his string band and big drum, providing music for clowns, cakewalk, quadrille, and masquerade folk dancers. That's it for this edition of the Nevis Newscast. I am Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. Thank you for viewing.
My name is Greg Phillip. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the Nevis Tourism Authority. Nevis Mango and Food Festival has been around for 4 years, and in our view it is one of the most unique festivals anywhere, mainly because of what it does. You see, it celebrates the mango. We have over 40 different varieties of mangoes on Nevis, plus a very, very rich and good culinary scene, and we've put those two things together. So once you dine at this Nevis Mango and Food Festival, believe me, you're dining on food that has never been created before, because every single chef that cook at this festival have one excellent challenge. The challenge is everything you cook, every course of every meal must include mangoes from Nevis.